point the camera.
3, 2, 1. Are we live?
Yeah.
We didn't do 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's go. Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration, the Power Is Within podcast. Glad you could join me today, and I got a big crew here tonight. I got my whole family and a special guest, and we will start off introducing my oldest son, Mark.
I'm Mark Daniels. How you guys doing?
Okay, and my daughter.
Hi, I'm Pauline Daniels.
Paulina, how old are you?
14.
Mark, how old are you?
I'm 21.
And Kevin Daniels.
Hello, my name is Kevin. I'm 12.
12. Frank, our sound man, cameraman, and the man that put all this together. We couldn't do it without him.
With the help of my brothers.
Yeah, with the help of his brother and a
I'm
couple
16.
Of the guys. All right. Claude.
I'm Claude Daniels, and I'm 19.
And our special guest, Darian.
Hey, I'm Darian Patton, and I'm 19.
All right. Welcome, Darian.
Thank you.
And Henry, my co-host.
I'm 18. Henry Daniels.
Well, and I'm Mark. I'm glad you're here tonight. We're going to talk about the effect of social media on the youth. Actually, on everybody, but we're going to focus on how it affects the youth. It makes a big impact. It's something I didn't grow up with, but these kids are growing up with it, and it's changed the whole course of everything, including dating and many other aspects in life. A lot of people never get out of the house. I know you guys have told me that some of your friends very seldom ever get out, and I've also noticed that a lot of kids don't get their driver's license right away now either. Me, when I turned 16 the very day, they didn't give the test here in the town I lived in. I drove to another town so I could take the test. But with the phones, and you guys can talk on them and look at people, it doesn't seem to be near as important to you. So who would like to comment about that?
I'll go ahead and start. Well, for me, social media, I've noticed a lot of things that people tend to be, quote unquote, what they say is fake, which is they live a fake life. They post things that aren't real. For example, they say they're making millions of dollars at my age, which is 18 years old, when really they don't even have a job. And they're staying inside and maybe doing illegal things to make money. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, I've heard it's a comment. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, and really, I've kind of noticed different aspects of, social media. I'm kind of more on social media than I think maybe anybody here besides you, because you have your YouTube. But I'm more on social media due to the fact that I'm pursuing a music career and stuff. So I have noticed that too. That's like a very big thing. People faking what they have,
right.
Faking streams, faking views, faking likes. And really, at the end of the day, it's not really doing anything better for you. It's just something so that they can put a front on to somebody and be like, oh yeah, man, this is look how people feel about me. You know what I'm saying? So it's really just kind of, you got to be able to, if you do social media well, you're able to see what's real and what's what's fake. You really, really are able to tell. Because some people nowadays, you can literally rent out a jet and take pictures in it and be like, man, first class to Dubai, and edit yourself. Have someone had pictures that they never posted or anything, and they edit you in there. Next thing you know, you got people hitting you up like you're a millionaire because you made it seem like you were. Exactly. So I mean, really, if you're good at social media, you can see right through most of that stuff.
Sure.
But if not, then you're gonna be stuck. And you're going to be thinking like, oh, man. And that's what happens to a lot of people our age. People get depressed. Like they get really down because they're seeing these kids driving these multi-million-dollar cars.
And it's not even theirs. Bro.
It's not theirs. It's barely their dad's. No. You know what I'm saying? So and most of the time, this stuff is rented. So it really just destroys a lot of people's like just mental state, mental state because they're like, people think that they need to have all this stuff by the time they're 18 or 20. Yeah. And we are barely starting. We got our whole life ahead, but people are like, man, look at him.
So focus on other people than ourselves and
exactly.
trying to live other people's highlights and stuff, Yeah. Like me, when I was younger, like I wasn't introduced to social media. I wasn't allowed to have a phone. I was supposed to play sports outside, all that stuff, because my mom was afraid. She was like, you're going to see like your older brothers, they have social media. They're on their phones 24/7.
Exactly.
And I was like, nah, Mom, I just want a phone.
Yeah.
And like, I want to be like every other person in the school have a phone, like every other person. Yeah. And say, no, trust me. Nowadays, I have a phone, and like I'm like into it more than I am.
It's
like,
addicting almost.
Yeah, it's addicting.
I have to watch myself with it.
Yeah. And like dating life, like I feel like for me, I feel like it's bad. Like I don't want to use Tinder or all these other apps to get to know somebody through a phone.
Yeah.
Because you don't have like you're not like back in your time.
Yeah.
you were able to
Oh, yeah, back in my.
sorry.
Yeah. Joke, man.
But no, like y'all had to like talk, like y'all had to like interact and stuff.
You had to call them,
yes.
you know, hello,
Yeah.
so-and-so.
Call their home phone.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
crazy.
They may not answer. There was no answer.
Yeah,
For a
like
while, yeah.
now it can just be creepy. Like you know, like you're texting somebody through a phone, and like you really don't know them, or you're
Exactly.
Yeah,
You know
it's
who
just-
you're talking to. Yeah,
You
exactly.
can't get the actual
Person.
emotions out of the, and you can
It's the
mistake
phone doing it for you.
Exactly. You can mistake like a text message. Someone's just like, "What were you doing last night?" Could read it like, "Oh, what the hell were you doing last night?"
like-
And that's not at all what they were asking. But it's like that's texting is dangerous. Like the main thing for that, only thing is used for, like you have told us, really, and really, I learned this through you, is just to set it up.
Yeah.
You know, you call,
Yeah,
text, and be like, "Hey,
yeah.
let's go out this weekend," and
Right.
that's it. You know what I'm saying? That's
Well, I
about
like
it.
it for business because you can always go back and say, hey, we agreed to do this, this, and this. So it's great there, but I know it's easy to have misperceptions
Yes.
by which you, even if you use the emojis, which I don't advise any man to use emojis. I don't use them anymore.
No.
I was ignorant of social media until I started dating that girl from South
Yeah.
America, and I started using it, and I really made all the mistakes that people shouldn't make, like sending long messages, answering my messages right away. I knew nothing about it, but there's a whole science behind texting and
Yes.
messaging and all that
And
I was
especially-
unaware of. I've learned since, but yeah, you can really turn somebody off, or another message. Look, it's a long
It's
message.
so annoying.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I've gotten those long messages, like, oh
It's
man,
about
I gotta
masculine
listen
and
to this
stuff.
Yeah. I mean, what you think? Like, what's been your experience with
Like
it?
with those text messages, like you said, you know, that's why there's always that joke where somebody will send you a really long paragraph and you just reply with
Okay. Yeah. I'm telling you, that's the most lethal thing you could
The
do.
thing is too, it's like them two, Paulina and Kevin. You guys grow up with phones pretty much the entire life. So what has been your experience with it?
Like Kevin, what's been your experience primarily?
Yeah, you're on there all the time.
Yeah,
Talking to your girlfriend.
I don't get that much. Like, I don't go outside anymore. I just like I get stuck to my phone so much,
Yeah.
and like how I like when y'all tell me to do something, I don't really want to do it because I get stuck to
Yeah,
like the
you wanna
electronics.
Yeah.
and
It's
stuff.
so
What about you,
Hard to get
Paulina?
away.
Usually I never know who I'm talking to. Like, I could be talking to a guy, but it isn't like a guy my age. It could be
Yeah.
like a guy like 50 years old sitting on a couch.
An old man.
Yeah.
Trying
Some goofy Russian is Boris.
like,
Pretending to be like maybe
pretending
someone.
to be, my age, just to like, I guess, get to know me, but like just want certain things. Like, all now guys ask for is like nudes and a whole bunch of
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
So
a big,
you can't really
Trust
it's
who's on the other one,
you can't really trust
Yeah.
anybody on there
And what have
anymore.
you felt like about when a guy wants to send you a long paragraph or something like over text? Like what?
I mean,
what's-
if we get into an argument and he's like texting me and it's a paragraph for like, and I like read it and it's like not like, oh, I love you so much, then I don't really. If it's a paragraph about like how much the person loves me, like I talked in the last podcast, I just don't like when guys are all like trying
Smothering
to
you.
trying to
Yeah.
suffocate me.
Yeah.
No, in love.
Yeah, it's like
that's probably what, like the biggest mistake that a lot of guys make due to the
Yes.
fact that we're told that you see
Yeah.
that, and that's another thing about social media, you get almost hypnotized
Yeah.
by the stuff
Yes.
that you see on there. So for the time being, I mean, really, my last relationship, I posted all the time. We're happy, we love each other. Look at this matching
I really
outfits and all
wasn't
that.
really about it.
Man, I'm telling you, like behind closed doors, it got dark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It's a mistake. Men are told, or even young men are told, now share your feelings. Tell her how you feel.
No,
It just doesn't
as a
work.
man, you're not supposed to do
No,
that.
it doesn't work well with women. Women really don't want to know. They may tell you they want to know, but they really don't want to know.
And there's actually a movement right now behind men sharing their feelings. There's a big movement
To
going
get them to,
to
or
get them to share their feelings.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of women now, like a lot of the activists and stuff. They're trying like it should be okay for them to share their feelings. They're trying to fight for
like brainwash type stuff.
yeah, they're trying, but really they're trying to fight, I guess, for us, trying to get like oh well, they have stuff going on too. It's like yeah, we have stuff going on too, but
you
as a man, you got to deal with it.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm saying too.
saying?
It's like you're better.
to be a man.
Yeah, you're better off to talk to your friends and stuff like that. Like
Yeah,
I know
I think
I've
share
had
with
my
your
complications and stuff like that, and I've talked to Darian about a few things.
Yeah.
When I'm having some struggles with stuff like that. But you're better off to talk to your or your brothers or your friends or something like that because you end up sharing your feelings. And at first maybe it goes okay. It doesn't go too bad, but you continue to do it with your girl or female friends, and it's just not really something that they want to hear. It's,
They say they want to hear it,
but they really don't.
Yeah, there it is.
there you go.
A woman sees that as being weak.
Well,
It'd
I
be like
know-
me as a father. I come home here and you kids, and let's say I lost my job if I were working for someone else, and I came home and I'm crying. And I don't know,
wouldn't wanna
kids,
see
what
that.
am I going to do? How am I going to make it? You guys look to me for strength, and that's the same way as if your mom was here. If we had a woman here, which we don't, but if we did, she looks to me for strength, and I need to come home and say something like, you know what? I lost my job, but we're going to make it all figured out. Because if I come home and fall apart, maybe I feel like falling apart, but I need to do that in front of my mentor or my best friend or my confidant, and I got to remain strong around you, because it's selfish for me to just let myself go and fall apart, and you guys feel insecure.
I feel like.
know.
Go ahead.
I know a lot of girls say that hearing about a guy's feelings would like make the relationship better, but they say that, but they don't actually want to hear it. They just do that to try to, I guess, comfort their boyfriend. But when it actually comes to the time where he wants to talk about it, she does not want to hear about it
I've
at all.
made the
Don't
mistake
care.
myself and
Yeah.
seen the results. They're not good.
No, and I'm telling you, you really gotta, as well, along with that, not really going too deep into that subgenre of that subject, but you have to really make sure who you're the person you're going and telling this stuff in confidence is to. You have to really make sure that you can really trust them, and that they're like a man just like you are, that can really help you out and put it how it is. They're not gonna sugarcoat it, nothing like that. So you really gotta be careful on who you pick when it comes to trying to find that person that's gonna hold you down whenever things seem to be kind of cracking down.
Yeah, tell you to tough it out, man it out.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
problem. We don't have
Pretty
enough men around nowadays
No,
to tell you to
it's-
man
it's-
it out. A lot of them will tell you, well, go share it. Go tell her how you feel. I mean, I had somebody tell me that bad advice. And when you're weak and you're feeling kind of emotional, you think, well, yeah, maybe that'll work.
Yeah, it sounds
It's
like it
not.
makes sense.
Yeah, it makes
You're in the heat of
logical
the moment,
sense,
yeah.
but logic doesn't work well. It's counterintuitive.
Yeah.
What you have to do and what people tell you to do doesn't seem to work as well.
And really, that's like, at the end of the day, you'll get better results out of your friend telling you, like, man, suck it up, get up.
Yeah.
Suck it up,
Then
be a
him
man.
sitting there and rubbing your back, be like, hey, man, it's gonna be okay. Just maybe try to talk to her, or it's like, maybe try to give it some time and then try again or something down the road. So like I said, you really got to try to figure out who the right person it is, that you're gonna end up talking to about this kind of stuff.
Well, back to social media, what I've noticed is, I help younger men, and they talk about, I've talked to men that actually, they'll be telling me their situation with a girl, and I have to finally ask them, have you met this girl yet?
No.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like they have this relationship, but they've just been texting. They haven't even met her yet. It's amazing how men, maybe women too, but men get wrapped up in a girl that they haven't even met. They're having what I would call a text ship or a phone ship.
Yeah.
And I tell them, look, set up a date. Use that to set up a date and meet, because until you meet in person, you really don't know. And what I do, because, I talk to girls all over the world, what I do when I meet someone, the first thing I'll do is, hey, send me a photo with you with a peace sign. Because then I know, at least I know it's them.
Yeah.
And the ones that are legit have no problem doing that. And then if I talk to them long enough, of course, I have to fly to go meet people. So I will actually have a video call to kind of get their personality. Because I've talked to girls by text, and they've sent photos and short videos. And then when I actually meet them on the camera, it's their personality. It's
different.
I was thinking, I'm glad I didn't go. So even talking to them by cam is not the same as meeting, but it's as close as you can get to at least give you an idea that you want to go meet them. But some people spend, I guess, weeks and months talking for hours on texting or messaging or social media, and they build some kind of a relationship, but it's really not
a relationship.
It's not valid because you really don't. It's hard to connect with someone, I think, unless you meet them in person.
Yeah, that's for sure. Really,
Like-
one of the things too, one of the crazy things that's allowed us to really keep from, I guess, people being a fake account or something, I guess, besides Instagram, really, but on Snapchat, for example, Snapchat's like super popular for that. You can't really fake who you are on there much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, because it's all about, what you're posting. Like, because if you post a video and it says, for example, like you all know, like 13 minutes ago, it's directly from that person. They just took it on their phone and just posted it right there. But then you get like the people who will make fake accounts and all their photos will be like from photo gallery, from photo gallery, from
Or their snap score.
or and that's the thing too. Like you're able to fake it on there because people have found software, people have found apps, you know, to post pictures.
It's amazing what they could do.
I'm telling, there's a loophole around everything. Every time
you can really
there's
seem like somebody you're not.
exactly, and it's like that a lot. It happens a lot. You've experienced that quite a bit, probably, haven't you?
I just experienced that like just a couple days ago. You know, somebody had texted me and they were like, "Oh, you know, like come over and this is that." And you know, here's the thing, like. You're so used to, like, nowadays, since we're so used to social media, you have to be aware of it, so it kind of gets you, like, makes
You
you
start not
sketchy.
trusting everyone. You wonder if this is another real.
Uh-huh.
I think most people are real, but you have those few that aren't.
Yeah, you get those few really that are kind of, and really for the most part, most of the time, if it's a fake one, they want some money from you or somebody somebody that knows you or it's somebody that knows you.
Quick,
like you really can. There's like one of the things on there is snap score. They got like a snap score of like 2. They just made that Snapchat yesterday. You know, they don't have a little Bitmoji on there, a little picture, the little cartoon profile picture that people have on there. It's probably, you know, probably not real. There's a lot of different things that you could do and to try to figure it out. You know, and like I said, if you're good at doing social media and stuff like that, you're able to figure all that stuff out. If you grow up into it like these two, or really we've been growing up in it, but it got more introduced towards 2000 babies and stuff. Like really all that stuff got going crazy. So that's like, if you're good at the internet and really knowing how to differentiate fake from real, it takes a lot of being on social media to do that. But if you can do it, then you know, you're able to, it's able to just go right through. You're able to just see right through it and move on to the next person who is real. You know what I'm saying?
What do you guys think of these filters? I know they can, I've seen some of these girls that I've met, they really look good on their profile. And I said, well, give me your WhatsApp. And then I have them send me photos, real-time photos, and they may look night and day. It's just incredible how
what do you think about them, like you personally using them?
So the filters that used to be on Snapchat before it got a whole bunch of updates, they didn't like have much effect on a person's
Altering
face.
Yeah.
It really didn't. But now it makes your nose skinny and your lips big, and it like makes your cheekbones more defined.
Gives you different colored eyes.
All over. It's so weird to me because it wasn't like that when I first got Snapchat.
I don't understand what the mindset is of the people that would portray that if they really plan on meeting the person. I don't understand how they think that's going to work.
Sometimes people wear makeup, and when they take it off, they use the filters instead of like showing you what they actually look like.
Because it almost kind of gives it the same effect.
It's
like
that's one thing.
Yeah, and then when they meet you, they wear their makeup, so then
And it
they
looks the
look
same
they
as
look
the
the
filter,
same.
yeah.
And really, even then, most women expect you to just accept them for what they look like. So that's really what it's mainly about now. It's not about like, oh, they don't give a they don't care if they're gonna come meet you and you're just like, you know, you don't like the way their face looks because they didn't look like the Snapchat filter. They want you to accept them for who they are. You guys have been talking and stuff like that. So it's like, okay, why does it matter? I don't need to have all this and
But
stuff.
that's the thing too. Is it's like Dad was talking just a second ago. Most guys, they build a relationship with a woman over text or whatever it happens to be, and they're sending pictures. They look good, and what happens is they meet them face to face or whatever happens to be, and they don't look the same. But they're so used
Catfish.
Yeah, they're so used to they're so used to guys just falling for them that most guys probably would just be like, oh, okay, well, she doesn't look the same as she did in her pictures, but I still like her because I built a relationship with her over text.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, which that can happen a lot. Like I remember, I think it was like last week. There's this girl I work with. She's a coworker. She does not look nothing like her Instagram.
I've heard that before.
That's
we're cool and stuff, but I took pictures for her Instagram. She's like so into like Instagram and stuff, and she edits everything. And I'm like, bruh, this ain't even you. Like, on it, it's not even you because she has the makeup or like.
What did she say about that? Did you ever ask her what?
I actually told her once that we were driving back to my house and she was gonna drop me off and we're gonna hang a little bit, and I told her like, you do not look nothing like your Instagram, and she like, okay, is that bad? I'm like, yes, it's bad.
Yeah.
Her personality is like cool and stuff, but she's not. She doesn't look like who she looks like. She's not.
Yeah, on her page or whatever it has to be. Yeah.
Well, I know also people portray. I went out with a girl once, and she actually would portray one person on Instagram, but that wasn't who she really was, and that's what she wanted. Superficial.
Yeah.
She wanted people to love her Instagram persona, but she was afraid to let anybody get to know who she really was.
Yes,
I mean, so, but I guess it's a way of keeping themselves safe from being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a filter, so to speak.
Yeah, like that's really one of the things too. Is like, but they're looking for results that they are not ever going to get. So
it's a fantasy world.
Okay, so you get people like, for example, like Tate. We all follow Tate because we know he's a raw dude. Like he'll put it how it is. As far as I'm concerned, what I'm saying, everything looks paid for, everything looks real. He's got it like that.
Genuine,
So he's genuine, and they're getting these results. Like people are like, oh, let's follow them, like their pictures. Like, I really like this guy because he's being genuine, and even through the phone, you can tell. You can tell.
Yeah, if you grew up with it, though, you can really tell about.
So, and that's, but I wouldn't say you can tell because it's only certain people that can. A lot of people get mixed up in that. But the main thing about that really is, you think about it, they're living this genuine life, posting about it and stuff. That's what gets them more followers than people living the fake life, because there's nothing there to back it up. Because Tate will talk about what makes him what he gets is what his income is. What's making him his money. How much he's making.
He'll tell you straight up.
Exactly. He's putting it out there so that you can't be like, oh, he's faking it. He told you how much he's making a year.
So other people won't even tell you. They'll just say, oh, I make this much and this much. Yep. I got this.
Shout out to Cobra Tate and the Sparty Fortune Team Fortune. My daughter doesn't like Sparty. Sparty, if you're watching, we're gonna have you here on the show soon.
Yeah, for sure.
He wants to come, so
I don't
we're
want
gonna
to
have
be
him.
in the same house as him.
Come on, Polly, because he tells the truth. He tells it how it is. That's why.
No.
But anyway, like we were talking about social media, it's like it's easy to put on a fake,
a fake show,
I mean,
reality.
You can be a completely different person, and that's the thing. That's why most people struggle with depression or confidence, because they're seeing these people, being a certain way. They want to be like that, They see these people making quote unquote millions, which could be something they could
and having this happy, wonderful life, but they're only showing a small
portion.
And then you judge your life by them, and you think, oh man, I want to be like, but you don't see the struggles and the trials and the disappointments and the delays.
I feel like people want to be like these superstars. Like they want to be like, they look up to their people like Tyreek Hill. Like, I look up to him a lot. I used to look up to him, but you're not gonna end up like being like them. You're gonna have
to go through your own trial.
Your own trial.
You're gonna be something different. Not everything's gonna be set up to the way you want it to be.
Yeah, the way you think it's gonna be, because these people make it seem like they just a lot of people exactly. And the one thing that I've realized is in the music industry, a lot of people think that someone's just gonna come find them.
Yeah.
A lot of people think they're just gonna.
You got to be out there doing something.
You got to be, and a lot of people perform. A lot of people perform, and they'll be in the studio, like quite a bit. They'll spend most of their days after work, doing studio stuff, and they really firmly believe that because certain people have gotten found out of nowhere, and it's not even out of nowhere. It seems like it. But these people's families have ties. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hung out with Nelly, and really, when a lot of people ask me that, it almost sounds like it was me. But it wasn't because of me. It was because our manager managing our music team, he brought us to the studio. He happened to be there, and he's going to start working with us. So that's kind of like, a lot of people, if you ask detail, most people aren't going to tell you the truth or really even give you detail. Exactly, because they want to keep this, this is who I am. Yeah. But even, like I said, in the music industry, a lot of people think that someone's just going to find them because they're working hard. You got to go out there and network. After your show, after you get off stage, you go and talk to everybody, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, put your reputation out there,
Exactly.
Yeah, Mark performs over at Pops in Sauget, Illinois. I used to go over there back when I was 21, long time. Place been around a long time. It's been a jamming place.
Oh yeah, no, didn't
it burn down once?
Yeah, it did, and then they ended up building it back up. Yeah. And it was all, I think that was, I don't know if that was over COVID or over that time or anything, but it was like sometime during that time or whatever. But I started performing really like about 2 years ago, and then we were supposed to go to Miami. Crazy show. It was supposed to be insane. Then COVID hit, and then we weren't able to go.
It
and
stopped
stuff.
a lot of people from doing things.
It did. But really, if you think about it, a lot of people took advantage of the situation, and really
that helped out a lot of people.
But like really, social media
That's
when it comes,
social media came in play.
Exactly, and this more now than ever because people are sitting inside. You know what I'm saying? And if you're out doing certain things, certain people will get mad. But really, like being a genuine person on Instagram,
and Facebook and all that stuff, it's kind of harder to get the following. But once you do, because people are seeing that you're being genuine,
right,
it happens on its own. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to be real on there, you know, and not too many people are really gonna go for that at first, but when they see that you're real, is half of these people's fake, you know what I'm saying? They'll be like, oh, okay, I like him. I really
Another
like
thing
his stuff.
I was gonna say about social media too is emojis. That's a big thing. You know, people use them a lot, and then that's a good way for a guy to quote unquote share his feelings, or anybody in general, guy, woman, young kids, you know, whatever happens to be.
The crying emojis.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh.
The favorite one, if you want to be kind of discreet about flirting with somebody, is the eyes looking over to the side. You know what I'm saying? Just like as you see a nice picture, you know, maybe looking good.
Yeah,
But that's the thing
nasty.
too, is it's like now you can pretty much share your emotions without having to say anything. Just by putting the emojis, like let's say if you're feeling sad because your girlfriend's breaking up with you, you put the crying emojis or
That
something.
just makes it
Something
like,
like that, you know
you're
what I'm saying?
masculine and it's
Yeah.
not masculine.
You post
Yeah.
post it on your story, expecting someone to be, hey, what's going on, man? Like, you feeling okay?
Nobody's gonna slide up.
Like,
bro.
Another
people-
thing about sharing your feelings is what was I gonna say? Oh, like when you're texting a girl, like how you feel. It's easier for them for them to come for you over text message, but when you meet them in person, a woman doesn't know what to say.
They don't know,
Just
they
sit
don't know how
there.
to
They
act.
just sit there.
That's the problem.
Because
A lot
we're
of
used to
people-
social media.
Yeah, that's what I see with a lot of people now is we have this social anxiety as a result of social media because they're not actually out there interacting with people. I help people all the time. They're saying, well, how do I get to where I can talk to people? How do I get over this anxiety? I said, when you go out, just talk to the old person at the gas station, talk to the old woman on the street, just say hi.
Yeah.
And ask people about themselves. Everybody loves to
Start
talk
off
about
there
themselves.
and then build your way up. Like you don't have to talk to like the most finest. Like
Yeah, don't wait till
Yeah.
don't wait till you meet that beautiful woman. And say, "Ha." You're not gonna know what to say.
Yeah, because it most of the time probably won't happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You gotta. It's like
exactly.
a kind of like a little, just kind of life lesson. You prepare yourself.
And that's the thing.
you
It's
know?
I feel
like the more you talk to people, the more you build experience. You know,
Yeah.
you're able to continuously, you know, speak to people and get out of your comfort zone.
You were doing it the other day. We went
Yeah.
picked up some food, and like every person that
Every
was
single
right
Yeah,
there.
just talk
Say
to
hi.
everybody, not just people you want something from.
Yeah.
Just
talk to everybody. Yeah, like I feel like social media sets you up for failure. To be honest, because I mean, not for all people, but for me, I feel like it does that to me. Like if I was on that so much, then I feel like I would have been focused into playing sports or getting a scholarship in football or something like that. Like
But there's there's many other opportunities.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. But I'm saying like you ever like notice like when you don't talk to females in school or you're focused on schoolwork and sports, you like you have more things coming your way.
Yeah, that's
Well, yeah, it's
Go
easy
ahead.
to get it's easy to get distracted.
Yeah.
It seems like the society so much now focuses on, as a man, a young man, you got to get a woman. You got to find that right woman, and everything's going to be okay. No, you got to be okay first, and you got it right, Darian. You have to focus on your goals and your mission, and the women will be a byproduct of
It'll
that.
come to that.
You
Yeah.
can't go chasing women, they'll be running away from you. The mere idea of chasing signifies that something is running away from you. And I've done both. When I'm out there looking for women, I may find one, but it's not really the one that's going to be good for me.
Yeah.
As opposed to if I'm just doing what I'm supposed to be doing, focus on my mission, working hard, the women just show up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
exactly.
Women like most women like a
Busy.
hard, busy, you know,
Yeah.
hardworking, busy man, someone who's doing something with themselves. They don't
Yeah.
want the guy who's gonna be a bum. But there are sometimes a woman will go with a guy who is more of a
bum.
or someone who's not
as successful, I
Yeah.
guess, if you want to
Yeah.
say.
because he has the what's the word called? Starts with a P. I can't remember.
Provider?
No, he's more persistent.
Yeah,
okay.
he's
He's
persistent.
got, you know, he looks like he's going to be doing something with himself. Even if he doesn't have everything he needs right now, he looks like he's going to,
Still
in the
doing
future, he's going to
stuff.
be doing
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
He's going to be
And-
out there.
And women
Yeah.
are very good at seeing right through that. Because I've noticed a lot of the times, you know, sometimes I'll bring, you know, a couple fine women around some of my friends or something, and some they'll ask me like, what are you doing with yourself or something? Oh, you know, I'm working, I'm painting, you know, I'm doing music and stuff, and then. You know, maybe one of my buddies or one of their buddies or something will be like, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm working too, you know, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And you know, they can really, and not only that, but anybody can see that one, but really, even if you are like, let's say it's just you and her, and you're wanting to, you know, flex a little bit or something, you know, you're wanting to make it seem like you're more than what
Something
you
like
are.
that.
they'll be able to tell. They can tell, you know what I'm saying? And especially if
very
there's nothing
intuitive.
and it's especially if there's nothing to show for it. If there's nothing to,
and that's the thing too. Women are good with the social media texts and stuff like that. So even when you're
they're like geniuses.
Natural.
man.
When you're flexing or something like that on social media, most women can tell if it's, you know, very, like Dad said, they're very intuitive. They can pick up on that stuff. They've been around social media so much, and they have a lot of guys hit them up. Some, you know, simps. Some guys are actually doing something with themselves, but they can pick up on that.
Yeah. So Claude, what's been your experience with not? You have social media and you post here and there, but what's been like your experience with kind of, I guess, staying in on the more hidden side of social media? So, you know, between me and you and I, I'm more out there. I post more. I'm making sure I'm getting my likes. You know, I'm kind of doing that thing. You will post and you don't really care for the likes. I mean, you like your likes, you know, but you post and you're just posting to show people what you're doing. Yeah. What's been your experience with being on the more quieter side, but still seeing the crazy stuff go on?
Man, I guess it's a little bit easier to be on the quiet side because there's a point in time where, you know, I was posting back and forth the same post over and over and over, and the thing is that people don't think much about it, but once they see it over and over, because, you know, there are people who are succeeding that will post something more than once. That at first they won't think much of it, but then once they start seeing that something's happening, they start to get worried, so they choose to criticize you.
Yeah,
because I had a buddy of mine who, you know, I won't say any names, but he, you know, we were, I was like posting this video over and over, you know.
Yeah, about how to make money. And stuff like that.
And he texted me and he told me, he's like, why are you so obsessed with getting rich? I mean, you know, what kind
like there's something wrong with it. Everybody wants money. Even the people who complain about it, they want more of it.
Yeah, they want more.
They hate money, but they want more of it.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not the fear of, like, it wasn't like the fact that they're like, oh, like, why are you so obsessed with getting rich? It's the fear. They're afraid that there's something going on there that they're that you're gonna do something that they cannot do. So they want to bring you down to their level, keep you down there, because if they're not doing anything, they don't want to see the.
That's the crab principle. You know, you got a basket full of crabs, and one tries to crawl out, and the other one's pulling down. It's the same thing.
And that's the thing too. Is it's like another thing. People can be stronger, tougher, over social media. They can
I hear you guys talk about that quite a bit.
They can. I mean, I was getting in this argument with somebody a few days ago, and he was acting like he could, you know, take me on. You know what I'm saying? I'm bigger than the kid, probably. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm not going to go out of my way to fight somebody, but people can be tougher over social media because you don't have to be face to face with somebody. You know, you don't have to show any emotion.
Guns on their
oh yeah, everybody's an internet gangster now, man. Everybody, like, with that, like, it's internet warriors. Yeah. Internet warriors.
Yeah, because they don't. The same guy walking down the sidewalk would walk around.
Exactly.
He's on there. He's like, I'm gonna come over and kill you.
You know, I've had some people. You know, I've gotten into arguments with some comment sections with some people and stuff, and then be like, would you say that to my face? Like, no. I was like, okay, at least you know you're being honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine. A lot of people will just straight up be like, no, I wouldn't. So, you know, it's like, okay, but then you get a lot of people who, like, know they're never ever going to see you, know that you guys will never end up in the same, well, you know, they think, you know, you never know, you really never know, because they're hoping you guys are never gonna meet. And really, I kind of try to stay. When I was younger, I was crazy over social media. I was outrageous. I mean, I kind of got back to being, you know, kind of funny, posting some crazy stuff, you know, just being a little crazier. But really, it's just like, that's who I am. I was held back by certain things and everything, and I have fun on it. You know, I try to have fun on it instead of like, you know, maybe a couple days back I was on my phone, you know, a little bit too, and even I was on Tinder as well, and I'm just kind of like, I'm just sitting there just swiping through, knowing I'm just probably gonna hook up with some of these girls and never speak to them again. You know, so that's really just kind of like, that also can, I feel like it can ruin somebody's perspective, because I could only imagine if no one is sitting there. Because if, let's say you're sitting there for hours swiping over on these girls and no one swipes over on you, you probably gonna feel like shit. Especially if you do this thing people call it suicides, where they just like swipe on every single girl. They don't even care to look who it is, and they'll sit there for hours looking at their phone hoping
see if somebody reply,
and no one does, and then that just destroys people, man.
There goes the show. It's like with social media, you know, like for example, like you were talking about Tinder, you keep suicide swipe, you know.
I've never heard of that before.
Oh man, and somebody doesn't swipe back on you, you feel terrible.
You really because you know you probably swiped a couple fat girls and some ugly girls too, man. You're like, oh man, like
but that's the thing is, it's like
they do that stuff and they expect, you know, I'm gonna get something for sure. You know, someone's gonna hit me back
Somebody's
up.
bounty.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They're looking at a photo of you and just they're looking at what you're looking at right there.
And really, if you're giving them the like, you're automatically giving them that kind of acceptance, gratification that they were looking for. You know, really, me, I just kind of sit there and wait. And for the most part, I get a decent result back. You know what I'm saying? It's like got a witty little bio on there, and people see that I do interesting stuff. So, you know, for the most part, it's like is really if you just and really that's even going out of your way. Really, in my opinion, to kind of try to get with somebody or something. But like both of you guys said, I've noticed when I'm working and I'm just hanging out with my friends, I'm hanging out with my brothers and having a good time, that's when I see more results when it comes to opportunities and women.
And that's the thing, too, is it's like when it comes to social media, like Tinder, for example, it makes it easier for people not to have to meet anyone directly, you know. I mean, that's a good app to use to meet people.
Yeah, to meet people, honestly,
But it's so much more comfortable for somebody who's just sitting at home doing that instead of going out to a restaurant
or a bar or something
and having
you have a filter, a buffer, a buffer there to ease the pain of direct rejection.
Oh yeah, and even then, sometimes I'll be sitting there and I'm like, what do I message? We matched. What do I say?
Yeah.
I'm better off to just, you know, if I'm at the bar or something with one of my friends or something, and exactly, if I see her, she rejects me, turn over to her friend. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, her friend, because she's seen that, she's gonna end up probably going on with you.
You learn more being out and getting rejected more than you do on Tinder.
Yeah, and you build more of confidence too. It's like because you're going out of your way to do something that most people don't do. You know?
I think like rejection is like a key to growing. Being told no is probably was one of my biggest fears. But the moment that I accepted it and knew that there was something better after that first no, it's kind of hard. It's easier said than done. But
see the thing about and also the thing about that, it's better to be rejected in person than being rejected on social media because it's completely different. It's completely like they'll reject you on Instagram and it's just like it's nothing. There's no reaction. But being rejected in person, I mean, it kind of hurts.
It's like
but it's like you move on to the next thing, and
that's
it's like
the old no pain, no gain.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, like Claude, like really, he's a prime example of that. You know, there was one time we went out to Ballpark Village. There was a Cardinals game going. You know, we were all kind of relaxing, having some good time and everything. And Claude, you seen this girl and. You know, me for the most part, I was like, I don't know, Claude, and Claude's like, no. He went over there, talked to them, hollered at them, and they were digging his vibe. They liked the way that he. Most girls like, I want someone who's tall. I want someone who's big and strong. They want somebody who's going to have confidence to walk up to them.
That's to walk up to
them. Exactly.
If it happened to be the same situation, or if he were to hit up that same girl from the bar on social media, she might have not.
Exactly. She might have left him on read or just been like.
Everybody's doing the same thing.
Exactly.
The funny part about that was that not even I think maybe 45 minutes to an hour had passed, and some girl had walked up to me, and I had gotten her number and everything. See, and I had completely forgotten about it, but you got to go through that rejection to find something go to the next person.
So speaking about that, when it comes to females rejecting you or something like that, Paulina, what's your perspective on that? Like guys texting you or whatever, and they try to seem like they're doing something or they're being confident.
How many messages do you get a day?
A day.
Seriously, yeah, that's what I'm kind of curious on.
Well, I made my account public recently, so now people can go my
Snapchat.
Yes, my Snapchat account, because now they can go look and see what I look like and text me. But now that that's happened, I've had 10 people text me a day, and it's not anything good. It's usually hey, some sugar baby stuff, or it's just stuff I don't want to see. Yeah. So it happens pretty often, but when a guy's trying to genuinely text me and hit me up or stuff, I don't really. If I want to actually know the person, I would rather talk to somebody that I actually know than go talk to somebody who's lives in California and is trying to talk to me, whether I'm FaceTiming them or not. I don't want to. I would rather have someone here, and I'd rather meet them in person.
Yeah, because you're the guy from California. What are the chances of you meeting him?
Yeah,
exactly. Now, do you have an Instagram account?
Yeah.
You do, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Now, do you get messages, DMs from people on there?
Sometimes I do. People will slide up on my story on Instagram, and they'll say, "Hey, you're really cute," and I just don't really say anything. I just don't respond. I usually leave them on red because I have a boyfriend, but also because they don't look real on their pictures. Yeah. I can tell when someone looks different because some pictures will look like they're like they have really clear skin and stuff, or like
No,
they don't have any
that is
acne,
really
and
don't
then the
got
next
clear
picture,
skin.
all of a sudden they look like a whole different person. And I'm
Yeah,
just
so
like,
the guys are using filters too.
Oh,
yeah, guys
shit,
use
mask
filters
guys,
like
bro.
crazy.
Most guys nowadays, you'd be surprised, but most guys even on Instagram just take a picture, they'll wear some makeup.
If I'm like
Yeah,
snapping
sometimes,
somebody
yeah.
and it's like a funny filter, then that doesn't really bother
Yeah.
me because
No.
like, you know, joking around. But like sometimes these guys that I have on Snapchat, they'll use like feminine filters, like with hearts all over their face, and
yeah,
blush and
That's
big
a sign of the
lips.
times.
Yeah,
boy.
man, most of the girls, I mean, like, you know, right now, really, I'm kind of talking to like, I want to say like maybe 4 or 5 different girls right now and stuff, and it's just kind of crazy because like before that it was probably like 6 or 7, and 2 of them I kind of stopped talking to 2 of them because they wouldn't ever Snapchat me with, and I want to Snapchat like
Just
pictures and
block 'em.
stuff if we're talking so I can really see
Right.
what you look like. That's the best thing that's ever came out in our time, to really genuinely see if someone's who they say they are or if they look how they say they do. But there was a couple girls that just wouldn't Snapchat me without a filter. It was
Well,
every time.
For you women out there, a man wants to see the whole girl.
Everything.
And men are attracted to beauty and physique and different things like that.
Personality
As where
stuff.
women are more attracted to the inner strength of a man. The physical attraction women are attracted to initially, that will get your foot in the door as a man, but the long term is what you got as a man
Yeah.
inside of you.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how good looking you are, if you're weak and push over, she's not going to respect you, and if
Exactly.
she doesn't respect
Yeah,
you, she's
see,
not going to
you
love
can't say
you.
Another
no,
thing
or
about
just-
social media is that it's so easy for women to get approval, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
by all these guys, because
It's
you
like
got
an
all-
approval junkie.
Yeah.
That's
You
what
got all
it
these,
is.
you got all these Sims following them, and you know that you got all of them like liking their photos, commenting on their photos. That like sometimes when you try to hit them up in the
Yeah,
DM, like
they
you don't
like-
get it, you don't really get a response.
Not
but-
even a response.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and
probably
another
don't
thing-
even see it.
yeah.
And another thing
Because
is
they got
that,
so much.
like,
yeah,
it-
exactly.
It wasn't as easy like on Snapchat and all that stuff, but now you got people doing snap for snaps, which is where like you send them a photo of your Snapchat, they'll post you on their story like your name and all that sort of stuff, so you can add them back, and like it'll go both ways for the man and the woman. The thing is that there's so many men adding women that that's it's easy approval is like as quick as that. Like,
Yeah.
you know, you got all these guys like, oh, like you're so pretty that they add them like super fast.
Yeah.
Attention is the coin of gold for women.
You know, I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
See, I like attention. I mean, I don't like girl stuff on. Very rarely do I do it. If they like something on mine, I may like something.
Yeah,
If I
do that.
find
Yeah.
something I sincerely like,
Mhm.
but I seldom, if ever, just like their photo.
Yeah.
But what I see a lot of times on Instagram is a girl will post a photo, and in my book, she may be a 4 or 5, and she's got like 70 likes.
Oh.
But you take a man who's got a great physique, he posts his photo, he gets a few likes on it.
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly. And it's like really, and it's like most of the time, it's like probably like the couple girls or these, or some of his bros,
Yeah,
really
one-
just
one
like
of his
hey,
girlfriend.
Yeah.
the other
yeah, and then there was like some of his homies, you know. so
That's what makes it depressing.
That's what I'm telling you, and it ruins the perspective on that stuff for
Yeah.
people. You know what I'm saying? Because even me, I'm not really, like I said, most girls that say they want somebody who's tall and stuff like that. I'm 5'6". I'm not the tallest person ever, but I walk up to a girl like I'm 6'5", and then she'll treat me like I'm that, and you know, and put the respect on it like that because. You know, they, like you said, they want someone who's going to have the persistence to and no fear to go out there. Like you've said, you know, the caveman sitting in his cave and there's a tiger out there, you know, or like a saber-toothed tiger. If he doesn't go out there, him and his wife are going to starve.
They're gonna die.
Yeah, and then if the wife and kids manage to get out of there without getting killed, she's gonna go find someone who will fight that saber-toothed
a real
tiger
man.
and bring it in as a coat and food. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
So really, they want that persistence. They want
The
someone
confidence
who's
and
not gonna have
strength, yeah.
fear. You know, and that's why when me, Carter, and Henry walk up in the room, like I said, we're not ever really necessarily the biggest people there, but we shake the room.
Yeah.
People look at us because we're walking in there like we own it because
That's
we
your attitude.
and it's just how it is, and we've gotten more respect. A lot of people want to be friends with us, and that just doesn't go with just like women. You know, a lot of guys want to be friends with us. They want to learn
They wanna
what
be
you
what
have
we-
taught
what
us.
We're being.
Exactly.
When we come in with confidence, they want to have that same confidence when they walk in the
Like
room.
when I
you know?
first came here and like I talked to you guys and your dad was talking about semen retention and all that
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's
yeah.
I'm telling you, and really everything is just key. Like when it comes to just like I said, when you walk into the room,
what's the first impression you're giving people?
Yeah.
Are you walking in
20
there with your
seconds of
hands
that,
in your
yeah.
pockets, you know, like with your arms crossed, you know, scared? Or are you walking with your chest puffed up, good posture, you know,
confident,
it's
yeah.
someone you don't know, hey, how you doing, man? How you doing
Yeah,
tonight? You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
Like, that's what I like when people are like that. I think it's really cool when people
They're
are like
more
that.
open and
They're more
stuff.
open. They're really cool with folks, you know, and you see folks like that at a party all the parties and stuff, and even just going to the fair like we're going to tonight.
Confident is key.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
talk to new people every day, and a lot of the times, even when we're walking around, like we said, we'll be walking around. We've gone to school with some of these people, even
Yeah.
grown adults who were teachers. Well, you know, hide their face when they see, because they don't. I don't know what it is about people, but they're just almost afraid
They
to
don't
go.
want, they don't want y'all to see them.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Is it's like we were talking about earlier. It's a social anxiety. You know, they're not used to talking to people going out of their way.
Then no one's
They're
making
that's
they
the
used to
thing.
that teacher life, that school. Okay, class. All right,
Uh-huh,
yeah.
exactly.
That's the
With
thing.
script, you know.
I know
Yeah.
how Darian is. He's very outgoing, you know, and I probably wouldn't have hung out with Darian if he was more
Yeah.
quiet. If he was
Yeah.
me and him got along more because he was more outgoing. He
Mm-hmm.
was like funny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, he
yeah,
was,
of
I could tell he was
course.
confident, you know.
And sometimes that really even, you know, some friends I pick and choose my friends, you know, as I've gotten
You
older,
have to.
because you know, I'll sit there and all of us, we're really outgoing, you know, we're loud people, like we're
Well,
fun
and that,
people.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you want to hang out with somebody who's gonna help you build character.
Yeah,
build-
not someone who's
Not
gonna be like,
pushing
hey,
you down.
like, be quiet, man.
Yeah.
Like we're in public. Like, come on, calm
Exactly.
down.
If you're gonna do that, I might as well not mess with you.
Not be
Yeah,
friends with you.
yeah.
You know, I need someone who's gonna,
Just like
yeah.
Dad's and a told me good before, if you hang out with 4 millionaires, you'll be the 5th one. You'll be
Yeah.
the
Exactly.
fifth.
Yeah.
It's
You
like,
become part of what you're around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You
like,
hang out with
show
people
me
and-
5 of your friends,
Show-
like it's like, you know what show is me it your that friends they and I'll say? show you your future.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's one of the things too, you know, it's like you want to sometimes, like, you know, you want to hang out with people that, you know, most people think like, oh, are doing as good as you. You want to hang out with people doing better.
Exactly.
Better
It
than you,
makes you a
exactly.
little uncomfortable,
Mhm.
but to be good at whatever you do, like when I used to box, I find I didn't like working out with guys who were better than me because they beat the
Yeah.
crap out of me, but that's how I got better.
Yeah.
I used to
Yeah.
shoot pool, whatever I did, I found someone who was better than
Better
me.
makes you
and
better.
yeah, and it made me better. It was
Yeah,
a
and
little
the thing-
tough,
yeah.
but you know,
Yeah.
it
The
makes
thing
you
is too
better.
is like I know Kevin's got a lot of friends. He's
Oh,
he
yeah.
hangs out with a lot of people. You know, he and I know he's more outgoing than all of us. So how is that for you,
Exactly.
Kevin? How, you know, I know you have a lot of friends. What do you do when you meet people for the first time?
What grade are you in right now, actually?
I'm in 6th, but I'm going into 7th.
Oh, okay. So he's close to almost
Yeah.
getting into high school.
Knowing,
So what's
yeah.
like your middle school experience been like so far, I guess?
It's been pretty fun, pretty cool because I'm starting to get like to y'all. I'm starting to get
Yeah.
and I'm starting to meet new people.
Mhm.
Because, like when you meet new people.
Yeah, in middle school.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you meet like all types of people, like from
Yeah.
lower grades and like high grades.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know,
exactly.
you like that's probably that's a really cool thing. You know, elementary school is really cool to have like a base kind of friend
Yeah.
group,
Yeah.
and then once you get to middle school, it's like all these different schools come in together,
Yeah.
and then you're able to meet. That's like your prime on making friends. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's when you got like
The
it's
people-
really important. It's a crucial part. I don't
Yeah.
think people understand how crucial like middle school really actually is for like younger kids too, especially if you want to make something of yourself like out in the world.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, they're just kids. Most of the problems that you have then and there don't really matter, but you make friends and you
Yeah.
make connections and you become popular.
Yeah,
and-
see, that's the thing. Yeah, for me, when I was in middle school, I was in a lot of trouble and stuff like that. But I was friends with all different types of people. You know, people who weren't more outgoing. You know, and I was also friends with people who played sports.
yeah,
and I
the
didn't-
jocks, the
the
nerds.
jocks,
Yeah,
I
of
was also
course.
friends with people
yeah.
who were like quote unquote the nerds.
Yeah.
Or the weird people, you know.
Mhm.
But that's the thing is like as I got older, and even though we weren't in school anymore, I'll see them out like for example at the fair, and they're always saying, "Hey, how's it
Yeah.
going, man? How
Yeah.
you going?" You know, and everything like that. That's why it's good to make friends.
Yeah.
You're setting your
Be
path.
more,
in
yeah,
middle
Uh-huh.
be more outgoing.
From
you know?
my experiences, if like you know, after like for example, at like work, even if you have someone that you a work colleague or something,
Mm.
unless most of the time, really, unless the person's like an outgoing person, they're not gonna say anything to you in public.
Exactly.
I really don't. It's that social anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
and at work, they have to talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You guys
Right.
have to make sure you're talking to each other, making sure whatever you're doing is going well. But when you're out in public, nothing's forcing you.
Yeah.
You know, but that's when you have to force yourself. You know, like kind of make yourself go out and talk. You know.
Like,
Yeah.
Right.
especially like when you like see a beautiful female or something, and like y'all making eye contact, I guarantee nowadays nobody's really gonna say anything.
That's
because
what I'm
they don't-
saying.
Or use the phone,
Uh-huh.
phone.
Yep,
and you lost
exactly.
that chance.
Yeah, I'll just wait till I see her.
And,
social media
and
is
most
great,
people,
and
and
that's
most
not-
people, what most people do is like, I'm just gonna get her snap, and they go get. And
yeah,
let's
I've
say,
heard of that myself.
Yeah.
When they had the opportunity, and you're coming off as weak right there.
Right.
Yes.
If you've seen her and you
She's
could have
not gonna
talked to her,
want
and then
you.
you get her, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a bad way
really really good example is that of that is like if you go to the fair and like you see a girl, you will not say anything. You like as soon as you go home, they're like, "Oh, I've seen you at the fair." It's like,
Yeah.
just
Let's say you're a step ahead of the rest of the guys if you walk up and talk to her in person.
What's she gonna do? Say no? And then like there's so many
females there,
and we're young. We're very young. Like right now, unfortunately, you know, I've seen like you told me, Dad. You know, oh man, after you get out of high school, you're gonna see a lot of a lot of the girls that you messed around with and stuff get heavier and stuff. And I mean, you're right. And a lot of them are very friendly. They're still really cool and stuff. Like. I'm glad to be friends with them, but you know, it's like I said, there's nothing forcing these people to like maintain that lifestyle that they were in school, like sports. So it's keeping you nice and slim or fit or just fit in good shape. You don't have to talk to nobody, so you're not talking to nobody. You're sitting inside on your phone all day, not doing nothing. You know, so really, school like kind of
kept you in shape, and
it keeps you in shape with like mentally and physically. You know, but once that's the thing. Once that's taken away, it's like people just.
Yeah, when you're in school, you know, you're always talking to somebody. I mean, all the time. Especially if you're more of a popular person, you talk to people all the time. But if you get out of school and you're not going out there, you're not going to be more spontaneous like you were in school. You know, you're talking to people. Sometimes you don't know them, then you become friends. Yeah. If you're not doing that stuff out in public, wherever it happens to be, the mall, a store, you know, that's how you build connection and make friends. And be more spontaneous. You know?
That's really a thing too. Sometimes you'll even get people like their order will be wrong at McDonald's. And they won't even go and confront. They be like, oh no, let's turn around. Like, no, it's fine. No, it's like, dude, it's cool. This is their job. Yeah. You know, like tell them. You know, you got to tell them. Yeah. And for the most part, most people that I've met will leave. They won't even go and correct their order.
I know they didn't give me what I needed,
but it's fine. I'll eat it. I'll still eat it. It's like, man, come on, you know, like, but that's kind of the thing, and that's along with social media. The reason why people do stuff like that is because being behind a screen and saying someone's pretty, saying someone's stupid, saying anything like that is easy. It's easy.
It's easy, but when you go in like real life, like reality, it's hard.
It's hard. It destroys like that your actual perspective.
I feel like for men it destroys our masculine, because back in like your day, like you had men going outside working in football 7-on-7.
And the thing was, that's the thing. It's like communication. Like back in my dad's day, people always talked.
Yeah,
to your neighbors, you knew
you didn't go.
You knew your neighbors exactly.
You didn't go through Facebook to say hi, how's it going.
For the most part, you know everybody in town. You know, and if you're the guy, you know, you're the man, like Dad was back in the day. You know, and he still is the man. You know.
Always the man. Hey, that's a D-man. That's a D-man.
But that's the thing. Is it's like if you're the man, everybody knows you. Everybody knows who you are. But that's the thing. When people get older and like our age, I mean. They start to think, oh, well, I'll just be the man over a screen.
Yep.
They don't talk to people. They don't go out of the way.
What's been your experience? I mean, obviously, we've helped you learn through stuff, and you study like a whole lot more than us. So I've learned a lot of stuff, like stopping using the emojis. You know what I'm saying? I learned that really from you. I kind of knew, but then you reassured it. What's, I guess, been one of the biggest obstacles in having to learn in social media, like while getting into social media? What's like the hardest thing that you've had to get a grasp on or learn to do?
I would have to say the hardest thing for me was this messaging, because I didn't understand that. I mean, I dated a girl from out of the country before, but that was back when you could just call once a week. And this deal about messaging, I thought it was okay, just message back when they message and talk and do that all day. I didn't know, but really what I find out is if you do that too much, there's nothing to talk about when you meet.
Exactly.
It's like there's no mystery. There's no, you know, it's just I can know if I send a message, well, why doesn't she answer? If she's got her phone with her all the time, or she sends a message, I even had it come back to me. It's like, well, why didn't you answer? Why didn't you say good morning? Yeah. Well, I don't say good morning every morning. Or it just, you become so used to this instant gratification or access to when one of them doesn't answer you or she doesn't message you like until noon. You're like, hey, what's going on? Well, you're just concerned because she got in the habit. And then she's like, well, what, I can't sleep late? It's like, well, no, I was just. So, exactly. But it's where before, if you can only call once a week, I have no idea what she's doing. She doesn't know what I'm doing. And I think that's better, actually, because when you're dating, familiarity breeds contempt. Which means you get so used to people, you become bored. I mean, like Paulina's told me before, sometimes that she FaceTimes so much with her boyfriends that she kind of starts losing interest because it's just too much.
Yeah. And that's really a thing too. Like with that, it's like you can be available anywhere at any time as long as you're texting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like even some people, sometimes I don't get it. Like people have jobs. I don't get how some of these people sit there and text their girlfriends or their boyfriends or whoever they're with so long. They sit there and text all day. Or so. I've seen people carry on 11-hour FaceTime calls.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that I'm telling you, like they will go to sleep. They will make sure it doesn't hang up. Keep that phone charged.
I think there's one sitting right next to you.
Like
She used to do that.
No, she used to
with
have
their last boyfriend.
Speaking of which, Paulina, what's your streak for FaceTiming? Huh?
Yeah,
what's your
longest?
14 hours?
I know Frank's got one. What's your streak?
Both of
Oh,
you.
my longest FaceTime streak?
Yeah.
I went like 3 days.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Just making sure.
What do you
I
do
beat
for 3
him
days?
then.
Like absolutely nothing. You literally don't even. You just sit there on like TikTok or something. They go on mute and you just sit there and watch.
What about you, Paulina?
You
Since-
literally don't do anything.
Since you have a higher score,
I
what's
think
your
I've gone
streak?
about a week on FaceTime
Oh
with
my
somebody
God.
without
With your
hanging up.
boyfriend?
But how many of those people are you guys still talking to?
No, I'm not
she
talking
said?
to nobody that I did a streak with
Yeah, exactly.
anymore.
Like I said, how many of those people are you guys actually still talking to that you did that with?
I like one person.
Yeah, one person,
That's
exactly.
See, it
literally
becomes boring. I mean,
Yeah.
you actually have to limit yourself. I think a lot of times that's what I've learned to do is just not message back right away and not, make it as brief as possible and get to the point. When I meet a girl from another country, first thing I'll do is get her to send me a verification, which someone told me, have her hold a spoon. That
Man,
works well.
can you hold a
Once
fork
she
for me?
does that,
Hold a
if you're
fork.
thinking about going to meet her because I have to fly, then I'll do FaceTime with her and then see
Yeah,
if
you
I
do all
like
that
her, and then
extra
that's it. Then you set up a time to go meet. There's no sense
Yeah.
in talking back and forth and.
And then even then,
It could be a dude from Russia for
yeah,
employees.
and that's what I'm saying. But even then, like sometimes you got to make sure, and really as a man, make sure that you got more dates. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you got more than
Options.
one
A
date
man needs
lined up.
options, for
Exactly.
sure.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like just. Yeah, and if she lets you know, it's like, oh, it's like, I'm sorry, I can't, or you're gonna hate me. That's the biggest text message. You're getting all ready, you're sitting there spiffing up, cologne and everything.
she's
It's
like, oh my God,
you're gonna hate me so much.
I mean,
Because she's gonna sit there and flake on you or something. But then it's like, and then most people be like, oh, it's okay, man. We can reschedule.
Yeah,
You gotta let them. It's like, okay, cool. I'm gonna meet somebody else. It's fine. I got something else. To do.
I'm busy
So
anyway.
Well, I've heard that's a common thing. Girls flaking.
Yeah.
Most of the time, like you told me too. This is a really good
happen.
idea. I've done it myself too, and it works out for not only the girl, but maybe for me and maybe if I'm with a friend. But most of the time, you want to be like, if they're saying something's like, you want to bring a friend? Want to go out for dinner or something? Like, you can bring a friend with you or something. Bring one of your homegirls or something. Just really so that they can get that initial comfort.
Right.
Because nowadays, man, people are such creeps, man. Like really,
Facts.
and it's creeps. They're simps. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want to meet with someone who's gonna be quiet, twirling their finger.
I don't want to be
underneath the
stuck
table.
having dinner with a guy for 2-3 hours who just says
Well, yeah.
that.
See, and that's
Exactly.
The
and
other
girls
day,
don't. Oh, go ahead.
the other day on the radio, I heard this thing where this guy went and met with the girl, and he was talking to her and everything, and he was hanging out with her, and she said that he didn't seem like he was interested, but what it was he was so nervous he didn't know what to talk about. He didn't know what to say.
And most guys
Yeah.
don't know what to say.
And
I mean, even
the
over
thing is-
text and stuff. Like, and if I'm trying to go up to a girl, for the most part, if you're not taught this or even have any sort of game or like,
If you don't have somebody in your household that's always doing it and you're maybe around them or something like that, it's
then
kinda
you're
hard
not.
to pick
It's
up.
going to be hard to go and talk to
When you go
somebody
on
who
dinner
you don't
dates
know.
and stuff, girls aren't gonna like the guys that let's be honest, girls aren't gonna want to have a boring conversation. Oh, what's your favorite color?
Yeah, exactly.
Where do you
Yeah.
work? How
Yeah.
long have you lived
You
there?
worked there.
Yeah,
No,
like-
they want
like,
something.
no, they want some intense stuff,
and
bro,
they want
yeah.
crazy, But
Yeah.
then again, at talking
Not
about
too
that,
intense,
they don't
so.
want too much.
Yeah.
They don't want like to hear too much about what you.
well,
They don't want
yeah.
to hear anything you do.
can't give
You
them
gotta
too much
see
about you
mysterious.
either if you think
That's what
about
I'm
it.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what were you saying, Quan?
You got to seem mysterious.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
Because you're
it's-
sitting here, and another thing too is it's like you got to be real honest. You know what I'm saying? Like we were talking about earlier, girls can pick up on stuff like that. If
Yeah.
you're sitting here
Yeah.
bragging about something that ain't true,
Yeah.
there's something that you're saying or the way you're acting that shows them that you're not being honest.
And another thing too is like back to the first subject, social media. Social media takes complete mysteriousness away from certain people.
Exactly.
yeah.
From certain people. Some people are really good with posts. They'll have a certain aesthetic and they'll post like dark filtered pictures of themselves or something like that. But then you get the people who are posting like every day, man, almost getting annoying, man, and stuff like that. So you're like, okay, I already know everything. I know everything about you. You put it out for everybody to know. You know, there's nothing there for me to dig deep into and really want to like really get like and stuff, and really kind of dig. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on social media, one thing that really throws a woman off is like, you'll go to Instagram or something, you see that link right in the bottom. It's like, oh, you already know what that is.
Oh, that's the only fan. I'm not messing with her. No, that link tree.
Gotta go.
You gotta get out.
But what do you guys think of that? The OnlyFans. What do you think about it?
Okay,
I mean,
like,
honestly,
they shouldn't have it.
A woman's really good. Like, it's usually like a lot of younger women who are still good looking. Like, you go through their Instagram and you think, man, they're really good looking, but as soon as you see an OnlyFans, it's just like,
it's a turn off. It's a turn off for men.
Yeah, it's
honestly.
like, well, if everybody's gonna see it, then like, what's the point?
I mean, really, it's kind of like, I mean, I guess.
But you gotta do what you gotta do to make the money, though.
But
I mean,
the money is what.
I think, and that's really kind of, I guess that's the argument. People saying you got to do what you got to do for the money. I mean,
if you get the
I'm just not messing with you.
If she's one of mine, you know what I'm saying, and she's bringing that money to the table to pay the bills, I probably wouldn't mind as much, but we probably won't have an intimate relationship, like we probably won't be as intimate.
That's the thing too.
I just wouldn't mess with you. You do that. I'm not messing with you.
But that's the thing too. Is it's like. There's many other ways to make money,
man.
And that's the thing. Women get comfortable with doing something like that. They start easy way. Yeah, they start making money an easy way, which is selling their looks, selling their body, whatever it happens to be.
And what's going to happen when that's over?
Yeah, and women's looks fade over a certain period of time. You know,
partying.
What I'm saying? Yeah, that's a big thing too. But that's not a good way to focus on your income. You know what I'm saying? You need to be going out there and maybe working, but. In my personal opinion, you need to find yourself a man who can take care of you.
Exactly, because you're not gonna have that only.
But you got modern women today that said, "I don't need no man."
They're gonna need that.
Because right now they don't. They technically don't. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna run their life
as long as their beauty lasts.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Even if their beauty lasts,
when it gets
their youth.
Yeah, even when it gets to the point where they have to retire, they can't do the same thing that they used to. They don't have that. Amount of income to take care of themselves for the rest of their life. That's why most of the time it takes two people, because once you retire, you need at least 1 million or something like that to keep yourself going for the rest of your life.
If you want to retire,
otherwise you're going to be on the streets, because you have no other source of income.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, really, for the most part,
OnlyFans, but that ain't gonna work.
No, it's not. I mean, it's.
I don't know how long you can.
60 years old trying to do it.
It's like I mean, if you can keep it looking good, then by means, have at it. But really, I mean, for me, for the most part, it's like it's not gonna, like if I'm not messing with you, it's not gonna bother me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm not messing with you,
and that's the thing.
Really do what you're gonna do, but really the thing about it is kind of like a little bit like in the Tinder. A lot of the bios in the girls' Tinders like, oh, just here for male gratification, and they know it too. They know it. That's all they're there for. So, but like think about it like this: you put like or not male gratification, like male validation. Validation. So think about it like this: you get validation from men, what they think they want, and then money on top of it. That's like everything that they think that they want. You know what I'm saying? But then, like you said, at the end of the day, take away from the dudes who are helping their girlfriends take the pictures and shit for that. But really,
you never see them.
Oh no, you never see them. No,
you
never do.
Girls.
You never do. And even after they break up, you ain't never gonna hear about them.
That's
or anything
the thing.
like that.
Actually, speaking on that topic, a lot of girls, they don't post their boyfriends on their Instagram.
I've experienced that.
Yeah. Well, and it's because they want to continue having that
validation from other guys.
And that's something I didn't know about. I was completely ignorant of because my ex had an Instagram with like 18,000 followers, and we had discussions about that. Yeah. Had I do it if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't have tolerated it as long. But she would say, "Oh, well, it's for business. I want to make money off. I want to make this." But actually, I think it was more for validation. Yeah, all the guys, and she had guys offering her money to go here for the weekend, and all kinds of crazy.
She wanted that too.
If it's really for business, and I'm not talking about OnlyFans business. I'm talking about if it's really a business like Instagram. That's cool. Like fitness, like if that's all you're doing on it.
Yeah, if you're being a personal trainer, and you don't have to post pictures of you half nude to be a personal trainer.
Exactly, they're selling.
And that's what I'm saying.
Their beauty.
Exactly, their beauty. So I mean, really, when a girl's like afraid, don't get me wrong. I've gotten a couple times. I'm like, hey, you need to post me. It's been like it's been like a month, and then they'll do it, but it's like. I shouldn't even be having to tell you.
Exactly. It's not insecurity.
No. And I mean, really, it's just like when I hit up a girl and she don't have her boyfriend on her Instagram, you know, and her boyfriend end up hitting me up, but this is like, hey man, what's going on? I'm like, where are you at?
Yeah.
Where are you at? You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, don't talk to me about it. Talk to your girlfriend because she's acting single out here on social media.
Exactly.
I don't follow you on Instagram. I have no idea who you even are.
Yeah.
And your girlfriend's over here acting single. This is gonna happen, bro. Like, and how many of the other guys did she actually reply to? She replied to me. She said, like, really, a good female is gonna not even open the message.
Yeah.
She ain't even
But
gonna
so
open
many
the message.
guys will tolerate that. I actually broke up
Yeah.
with my girlfriend over that. I'm like, you won't post me on her? What
Yeah.
the hell's the deal?
Yeah, that's really the thing too, you know. And a lot of, you know, you get a lot of girls saying like, "Oh man, you're not confident enough," or they'll
You're
be like,
insecure.
"You're insecure." It's
Yeah.
like, no, that's not it.
Or-
That's
or
not
Mark,
the thing.
Little D energy. That's
Look,
the thing.
yeah, they'll say that you got a little man.
It's
And
nothing to do with insecurity. It's respect. She needs to respect you enough to show that she's.
yeah, and really like the relationship I was in when I was asking her to post me. At first, she was like, man, she was posting me back and forth, you know, because I was doing certain things that
Right.
I was doing the right thing. You know, I didn't know it at the time, but I was doing the right thing. So she was all over me all the time. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. After a little bit, that kind of gets, you know, kind of iffy on me. But for the most part, like I said, you know, it was cool up until the point where you're like, hey, you should post about me or
Yeah,
something. And a
exactly.
lot of girls sometimes too will post a picture of the plate that they're eating off of, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And not the dude. Like, you ain't even paying
Yeah.
for this $1,000 steak
Yeah,
right now.
exactly.
Like, post him, you know, post the dude, at least post the dude who's paying for the
And
steak.
guys can see through it. I see all these girls on Instagram, social media. They're at the beach or in Dubai. They're wherever, in Paris, at the Eiffel Tower. Never see the guy.
No, and let's get real here.
There is a guy there.
And
There's a guy. He's
and
probably taking photos.
he's the one taking the pictures, you know what I'm saying? Like, he done took 20 pictures of her just for her to post that on her Instagram, you know, just for you to hit her up and be like, oh, you look so beautiful by the Eiffel Tower. And he's like, this dude's like providing for her, and she's sitting like this on the side of the bed so he can't see her phone, you
Yeah,
know what I'm
her
saying?
texting all
Her
those guys
texting
that are
all
giving
those-
the validation.
Exactly. She's getting that validation while dude over here is providing money for her, you know, to go here, to go there.
And now that's something I was completely ignorant of, and I learned in that last relationship about it. Like, 'cause I knew nothing about all this.
Yeah, and that's really, but the thing about it is though, this is really all new.
Yeah.
This is really all new. Like, it wasn't like this,
Females
you know,
are being-
like,
Well, how long has it been? You think this?
I
is,
feel like I mean
I'll
personally,
say-
I feel like 2015 is when it's when it
I'll
really started.
I'll say 2000s is when it started getting raging. Like
Yeah,
the
okay,
beginning
yeah,
at the
yeah.
beginning of the 2000s
when
when
the apps
The
really
girls had
started
the
popping
purses
up.
and
not
stuff.
just we're not talking just apps. We're talking about when phones started
Yeah,
coming
phones,
out. When
yeah.
phones started coming
Flip
out. Like,
phones.
we're talking the little. We're not talking the big old, you know,
talking about
walkie-talkie
flip
looking
phones,
phones that they
yeah.
had back in Miami. We're talking when the phones started getting portable.
Yeah.
I don't know when that really was. I think that was maybe sometime.
1998 somewhere in there.
Was it? Yeah,
somewhere-
they started getting portable, but then they got smaller,
Smaller
like in
and
the
stuff.
2000s, about 2000 and like I think 2005 is when.
how long has Instagram been around? That's when.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
like,
let me see.
Shh, 9
Okay,
or
but
10
before
-ish.
Instagram,
It was Facebook.
Yeah.
it was Facebook,
Yeah.
and before Facebook, it was MySpace, and before
So it's been
MySpace,
probably
But you didn't see the
MySpace.
women, or at least I don't remember them posting on Facebook
Like how
Back
only
in
the
the
porn stars,
like they do
like
now.
only the women who had a profession in that kind of
Nah, Mark.
like
What do they call it? Adult film industry.
adult film industry. Yeah, only
Sex
No, like-
only the
sex
only,
workers is the
Yeah.
proper term.
only the
feel like-
people only the people who have I guess really a career like that are the ones
But if you
that
think about it,
posted like that.
it's really getting up there, like how females and how their mind and how social media is kicking and like brainwashing a lot of females.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a rappers and stuff like Megan Thee Stallion. Like
Yeah.
all
Oh
these
yeah.
rappers.
That's like a lot of the
Yeah.
empowering female rappers.
Yeah.
They're doing doing that a lot. You know, and it's funny because the main one right now is like Meg Thee Stallion.
Yes.
You know, she's going like.
about the WAP and stuff.
But you know what's funny is like she posted on her Instagram at the beginning of the summer. She's like, "Okay, girls, you know I'm not gonna be partaking in hot girl summer. Hot girl summer is like when
Yeah.
you're single and you go and
do whatever mess with
whatever you want to do, whoever you want to do.
Yeah,
like,
really.
Yeah, like, but that's what hot. That's what hot girl summer is. I mean, really, like
Do
that's
you.
that's the actual what it is. But you know, she's the one who invented it, and then afterwards was saying she got with a dude who was taking care of her, still taking good care of her, and he's an alpha male, and you know he's sitting, she's like, oh, I won't be partaking in hot girl summer with you girls this summer. I found somebody that I really like. So you know, it's got all these girls who were like, yeah, you know, let's go out and do whoever we want and all this stuff. And now this girl's got a boyfriend and probably gonna get married to him, and they're like,
Oh God. What do I
Everything
do?
she said was a lie.
As soon as
She needs a man. We can see that.
Single, like, that's when,
Yeah.
as soon as they're single, that's when they start bringing up, oh, hot girl summer.
Hot girl summer, exactly. And I mean, really, and that's a whole social media thing too. That's a whole social media
That
thing.
works until they get to a certain age when they start losing their beauty.
Yeah, man. As long as as a man, as long as you take decent care of yourself and everything like that, you don't ever really prime. You don't ever really have a prime. You know what I'm saying?
Your
Like
sexual market value lasts longer.
And really, if you keep yourself like you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I only hope to be in that kind of shape by the time that I'm your age. It's just fantastic. It's fantastic to see people, and really where we live and stuff, you don't really see that much. You know what I'm saying? Like people
the Midwest is
taking good care of themselves. I went down south, probably this weekend, and everybody was well taken care of. Everybody was very well taken care of. The older men, older women were dressed very well. Every time someone went out, they were dressed up real nice. Had some nice shoes on, had a nice dress, a sundress on, what I'm saying, and all that stuff looks really good,
you
especially.
don't see much of that around
And
here.
but like I'm saying, I travel a lot with my music, and with music, there's women, and everyone knows that, and that's the thing. Depending on what city you go and perform at, depending, really where you're located, you're gonna see that. We've gone to Cali. We all went to California. It's beautiful women, but they're the same person almost. You know what I'm saying? So it's depending on where you go, really, you're gonna find, like here, you don't find people don't really care. People don't really care. You go down to Miami, keep going down south, down Dallas, Texas, New York. People are taking care of themselves. They care.
You don't really have to do much to be good looking.
And I mean, really think about it like this. Like
Social media's like that.
Exactly. It's like a small social media. You know what I'm saying? Like Troy is. It kind of reminds me of that, because really the thing about it is with that is too. You see a fine woman here, your age, it's probably rare. It's probably rare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's probably rare. So I bet whenever you see somebody like walking around looking good, guarantee you half the time they're married. You know what I'm saying? Because they already have somebody or something like that. But that's really, and I mean, really, don't get me wrong. I go out, I live in St. Louis and stuff, and we go out there. You guys come out there. We go out, we have some fun. And I mean, you'll see good looking girls, but St. Louis is pretty notorious for having people not care. You know what I'm saying? Women not caring, they just go out.
But I feel like styles are different in certain places.
In different cities, but that's the thing. St. Louis is pretty notorious. Like Missouri is pretty notorious for people not caring about
we're one of the most overweight or obese states in the country.
In the country, we are. And it's another thing too. Like a lot of people are very lazy. I understand. It's kind of, I understand when you got to get up in the morning, take a shower, make yourself look good. Make yourself look good, you know what I'm saying? But so for the most part, it doesn't even really got to take that much. Put a nice outfit on. That's all you really got to even do.
People always say, "Oh, I can't go to the gym. I don't have time for that." Do you got time to go to your fridge and get some
and get some food? You have time to go. You have time to go get dressed up. That 45 minutes you spent making that food.
I always say you never know who you're going to meet. It's like when you remember we went to Walmart at 10 o'clock at one night and we met this rock band from Australia.
Yeah, and Emerald City. I still remember it was Emerald City, and they were really cool, and like didn't expect, me, I'm styled out. I got my Angry Bird shirt on, my Cardinals hat. I'm like, what's up, so I was feeling real good, I was probably about 12 years old or so, like when we first met him, but like when we went to California, we was dressed up, because that's just like how it is down there. But we also dress up because our father dresses up. We all like to take really good care of ourselves. Went up to the hills. Our buddy Matt took us up there, met Jaden Smith.
Exactly.
We had no idea we were going to meet him until he's like, hey, look who's over there.
You just never know who you're going to meet.
And you want to be dressed well. Like, you just always, you want to, my thing.
Good at first,
Exactly.
appearance,
my thing is, like, I like to say is I'm always picture ready. I'm always ready for a picture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm always ready for someone to come up and snag a picture. It's like people are like, oh, what, you think you're famous? No, I just, what I'm saying? Like, I'm just picture ready. I like to stay.
Yeah, well, you definitely stand above the rest when you dress nice. You dress
Exactly.
accordingly.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's some places, like whenever I went down, like I said, down south, the outfits that I have here that seem very simple to me were almost nothing down there compared to some of those people, because they're we're talking like $2,800 Da Vinci shoes, we're talking Prada, Versace. Not just that, but it's because they're taking care of themselves. They feel good, they feel good about going to work. They're able to buy this stuff about themselves to feel good, So really, like, the stuff that I'm wearing right now, it stands above
pretty much everybody in our town.
Right.
You go out, people are always asking you, why you dress so fancy? Where you going? And nowhere. This is just, and most people think like around here, most people think that's weird because like you only need to dress up for special occasions.
Right.
But what if every day is a special occasion? You know what I'm saying? So
I'm alive every day.
That's what I'm saying. So really, why not? You got one, like you say, you got one vessel and everything. Take care of it, take care of it like you do on social media in real life. You know what I'm saying?
People take better care of their cars than they do of themselves.
Yeah,
Clean their car up, shine it up, make it look good, and then they go out in a pair of old dirty old shirt.
Yeah,
and
you're worried about
pair
the
of
wrong
flip-flops
thing.
and some pajamas.
Pajamas, like juicy. That's the shorts that say juicy on the back of them and stuff. Just
because people do judge by appearance, regardless of whether that's right, wrong, whether you like it or not. People judge you by your appearance, their first impression.
Yeah,
and you never get You never get another chance, a second chance to make a first impression.
Yeah, and really, you gotta kind of think about it. I think about it too. Like a little traffic ticket. You go to take care of a little traffic ticket in court or something, or maybe you just need some papers for some sort of business. You go in there. Half the people aren't dressed accordingly, and they always say right before you walk into that court. It always says we enforce like dress code.
Does it say that?
It always says that. I always see multiple signs that say that. Yeah. Man, but half the time people go in there, they got a bonnet on their head, they got some sweatpants on or something. Yeah. I always dress up, and I'm like, man, I guess I never.
When the judge actually has the right to throw you in jail, no matter what. If he decides, he's like God.
And that's what I'm saying. And also, you kind of want to have respect for a person like a person like that. You don't want to go in there dressed like a slob. Cut up shirt. No, like really, I've seen some people that like they didn't have time and they went there right after work and they were still in their work clothes. Mm-hmm. I think that's almost a little bit more acceptable because they just came from somewhere where they're working. You know what I'm saying? They're doing what they got to do to pay off that ticket, do whatever they got to do. Yeah. So they came up in their work clothes and stuff like that. But then you get the people who aren't doing nothing.
The only time I'll dress like that is if I'm going to work. That is the only time I'm dressing.
And that's what I'm saying.
Or like if I go to the gas station or something, it's like I just got off. That's the only time I'm dressed like that.
That's what I'm saying. For the most part, like unless I think I'm going to be doing stuff all day or something, like I won't keep my work clothes on. You know what I'm saying? And really, like even for the most part, like I said, if you're educated and smart, you'll know that if they have their work clothes on, that probably means that they're doing something with themselves. Right. You got to kind of think, like not too many people think in that kind of perspective. They just kind of like, raggedy clothes on. Well, he just got back from work. Then you get the people who are like, oh, he just got back from work. It's almost the same as if they see you in a suit. Yeah, right. It's like not necessarily the same, but it kind of has the same effect. And that's why, like we said, the social media is able to do that. You get people going on in dressing rooms. They'll go to dressing rooms, take a bunch of clothes in there. Put them all on. Take pictures and take all the pictures. They'll take different angled pictures. They'll take different pictures and post them at different days, so that it makes it look like just bought these clothes. Like I was at the mall. I obviously just bought these. Why do you think I have them on? Yeah. That's what people do. So then you get people thinking like you got people like, oh man, like I don't do nothing but spend $10 on a pack of white T-shirts and wear white T-shirts all the time. But then you get these rappers who are like in a Gucci store and they buy a white T-shirt for $150. You know what I'm saying? And people are like, "Why can't I buy a
they're
shirt
used
for?"
as puppets.
Yeah, and they're like, "Man, they're like,
do this stuff."
Exactly, and they're like, "Man, I can't afford that. How can I have a style like that and I can't afford it? So like literally like the social media thing, people. There's many, many, many different ways of faking it. It's just about knowing what's being fake and what's real. And the only way that you can do that is if you once in a while you kind of
experience.
Yeah, like really. And sometimes sometimes like I've even done it myself when I was younger. You kind of get the capping on, you get the line a little bit on social media. Like I got this or I did this. You know what I'm saying? And then but up until you pretty much do that once or twice, you won't really know what's actually real. You know what I'm saying? Because like Henry was showing me the other day, we were in the car and he was like, "Man, this kid is always acting like something is his," and he was posting this motorcycle that his dad bought like it was his, posting this like, "Oh, I'm so ready," and it's not. A lot of kids our age do that because in social media makes kids like our age and even younger
spoiled.
Make them think that we need to be at a certain spot at a certain age. We need to be successful at 20.
We never know how to get there.
Exactly.
And get that kind of stuff because we're so used to using bargaining off of people and stuff.
And
like
most people's parents as well are sucked into that, so they're not even able to tell their kids. Like you, I'm able to like, man, like for example, if I see something on social media or something, I'm like, man, this kind of worried me, or I don't know how I feel about this. You'd be like, hey, like look, it's like when I was younger, I went through the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? So like for example, when I had very bad acne when I was younger, you know, you told me that it'd go away by the time that I was 20, but I'm looking on social media, no one else has it. I'm the only one who's got it.
It probably filtered out.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm the only one with it. Now look at me, I'm 20 years old, and my skin is better than it has ever been. So you know, and that's really kind of, you gotta have someone there to bring you back to reality. You gotta have, that's got to be yourself.
Because people only portray their best on social media. They don't portray when they're down or when things aren't going. There are some people tell the real story.
Yeah, and then there's some people, like a lot of girls like to post like pictures with no makeup or filters on at all. They'll be like no filter and no makeup. And you know, a lot of the girls would just be naturally beauty, like natural beauty. But it's rare, and it's really the girls who are super, like, just really good looking. You know what I'm saying? The ones who know that they're good looking. You know, kind of nicer to everybody else and everything like that. But for the most part, like you said, they only portray the good side on social media. I mean, I only ever post, you know, when I'm doing my music and doing work on my social media. I don't really, you know, think I need to go post like, people need to know that that's not a place where you're gonna go post when something's going bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like, and it's just the good times, you know, it's to highlight. Social media was made to highlight the good times. You know what I'm saying? So you can go,
I feel like it's to keep you down, basically.
Like pretty much, pretty much, you know, because a lot of people, like, you know, you hear people our age talk about, oh, we missed 2016. It's like, and we're barely 20 years old, and it's because like, we weren't worried about, we were younger, we weren't worried about social media, we were outside, we were doing stuff.
Yeah, I know kids don't go outside baseball too much anymore.
No, that's,
you can walk, you won't see anybody outside on a sunny nice day playing baseball, like outside, like.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Living by the park, even living over here, you don't even see that, and that's crazy because over the years you've noticed that the park will get dead and more dead, and eventually I feel like public spaces will eventually be like obsolete. You know what I'm saying?
Well, too, I noticed you can't get away from the media, the main media, because first they have those Amber Alerts, which how about you, Pauline? I know you don't like storms. They have the storm alerts, and it puts, I know you're afraid of the storms sometimes, but I think these announcements, which probably are meant for the good of people, actually put fear into. I know at school they have the what are those, intruder drills. So this keeps you aware, keeps in your mind that something terrible could happen.
Well, the Amber Alerts, I had to turn it off on my phone. I had to go turn it off because I don't know, something about storms that just doesn't sit right with me, I guess.
Go ahead, my bad.
Seeing them, like, seeing things pop up like flash flood. I don't really care about the floods because it's not as big of a deal as it would be.
We're pretty high right here.
Yeah.
We'd have to, if it floods enough to get us, they're going to have to build an ark.
So, like, flash floods don't really bother me because I feel like it's not as big as a deal here as it would be, like, somewhere else.
Towards, like the ocean or something.
Yeah, like big tsunamis or something. So it doesn't really bother me as much. But, like, just seeing it doesn't. I just don't like. And it makes, like, a really loud noise. And it's like, brr, and it just doesn't make it better. Like, I'm already scared.
Right.
It just pops up, so I had to turn it off on my phone.
Yeah, even if you're sleeping, it really does wake you up.
Yeah, it'll wake you up for sure. Yeah. I mean, really, they'll be like, you know, Susie got taken in a black Chevy.
Yeah, really.
What do you want me to do? Jump up like Batman or something?
Yeah,
you know,
the
I'll go
Amber
get it.
Alerts will pop up, and it'll be something and all the way in St. Louis talking about, car got stolen. It's like, okay.
Sometimes it's actually down in southern Missouri or somewhere like that. I guess they do it statewide. I'm not sure how they do it.
What you think about that? Like just the unnecessary exposure of like the news, I guess. You can't get away from it. In the
I finally got
like,
all the news notifications off of my new iPhone because it took me a long time to do that because I don't want to see it.
You took a cleanse from social media for quite some time. I remember like a while back you did, and I know probably it was like, you know, seeing the news and stuff like that and everything like that. What did that do to you? Like,
after I had gotten off my phone or got off social media for about like 2 or 3 months, it's almost like I don't know, you just feel completely different. It's like
clear-minded almost.
You feel more clear-minded. And another thing is that what was I gonna say? It was actually really interesting. Whenever you're off your phone, it just feels a lot better. Oh, here's another thing. You're not looking forward to somebody texting you or anything like that because, you know, there's this, I think it's like a phobia or something like that, to where you get so used to texting somebody that you'll check your phone because you thought it vibrated, but it didn't.
But it didn't. Yeah.
It didn't.
I think I've experienced that.
Yeah.
It's like it's phantom something.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
phantom something syndrome. It's like where you feel like that. And there's also times too, I mean, don't get me wrong. I talk to a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of my friends. I'm constantly talking to Claude and Henry. We're sending each other stuff on social media. And I noticed that when my phone is dry, like, or just no one's messaging me, kind of, you just kind of like, you
Well,
kind
they
of
say it releases a certain chemical in your brain. You get
Uh-huh.
used to it. It's almost kind of like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah,
You
and
get
the
so
thing
used
is that like some people will constantly check their phone
Yeah.
to see if somebody texted them.
Well-
And sometimes they'll even double text.
Yeah.
They'll even
Yeah.
double text
To
get
make
a
sure that they'll get a response quicker or
That's a
something.
whole nother story there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap it up, boys and girls. That's all we got for today. I thank you for joining me, and I've learned a lot about social media myself. You got me on this camera, Frank? All right. Thanks for joining us. Smash that like button and subscribe.